Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome back to Beyond Boardroom Business. I have another amazing episode for you. And just the headline, it says Master Stylist LaTay J Bey, which is the celebrities go-to for healthy, beautiful hair. And I know because I am also one of her customers. I mean, I had an opportunity to just hear her talk about hair. She didn't even know that she sold me. And she was just talking about the hair and the care. And I saw how much she cared about it. And I've just been sold ever since. So without further ado, let me bring on the celebrity hairstylist, LaTay J Bey. Greetings. How are you?
Greetings. I'm great. How are you today, Coach
Um,
Stephanie?
I am feeling fabulous as always. Thank you for asking. Wow. I mean, you know, when I looked over your bio, first of all, you're coming from Denver, Colorado. And you've just, from what I've seen, you've worked with hair all of your life. So you are just truly a hairstylist, a celebrity hairstylist. I mean, some of the people that you've worked with, just some of them. We have Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray, Regina Bell. Okay, we have Mary, Cynthia Bailey, Trina Braxton. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, please tell us, how did you get started? What convinced you to start your hair care?
Oh my goodness. What started it? I was a young little girl coming from Denver, Colorado. I was born in Pueblo, Colorado, but raised in Denver, Colorado. So my parents are indigenous to this place literally. So it's funny how I like grew up and born in the same place. So as a little girl, my mom was always working hard. She worked two jobs all the time, like when I was little. So she would comb my hair. When she would comb it, I would love the way it looked. So because she worked so hard, sometimes she didn't always have a chance to comb my hair. So I started learning how to comb my own hair when I was about 7. Started parting it and taking the ponytails, and I was like, okay. So like when I was 8, I was going full ham with it. I was like, oh, I want to play in hair, and she would buy me dolls and oh my
Oh,
goodness, I was playing her wigs, and little cousins would come over and I would comb their hair. So it just became something that I feel like I loved from so little because it was allow me to be creative. And coming from a woman that only had one child, I was the only child for a long time. So I had to be creative. So my dolls were my friends and things like that. So I'm combing their hair. I'm doing all these things, talking to them. We're playing with each other so that's how it all began for me. And it
yeah.
just continued as I got older.
Wow. So, how did you find the right school? And tell me about your education, the years experience.
So funny you say that. Oh, and it might bring tears in my eyes because I just got a picture from my best friend. So I have two best friends, one from 7th grade, one from the 10th grade, ninth grade. I say ninth grade. And we were in cosmetology school together. So my high school, Manual High School in Denver, Colorado, which is the same high school that Earth, Wind, and Fire went to. It was a vocational school on top of a high school. So in the basement is where all the stuff was happening. Cosmetology, barbering. We had auto mechanics. So I
Wow.
just got a picture of my teacher yesterday. Miss Morrell is her name. And Miss Morrell had been doing hair forever when she began to teach us. She came from Cali. And so I took cosmetology in high school. I was in the ninth grade going to the 10th grade. And cosmetology came up and I took it. And I was like, oh, yes, this is it. And that's right there in my high school. So it was like, it was a no brainer. $15 a semester, go downstairs. I'm downstairs for most of the day, 8 hours out of the day. And then my other classes I had to take, my science, social studies, and all that.
Yeah.
So I took that until I graduated. And I graduated with enough hours to just go take my test and get my license. And I actually graduated with enough hours to be licensed nationally
Wow.
because my hours that I had, they actually were reflected from California. In California, you have to have more hours than any state in California for cosmetology. So I graduated with 1,750 hours. So I stayed until I graduated. So that's why. So
Okay.
that's how I found my school. And my teacher was just perfect because she came from LA. You know, she had owned a salon 30 years. The same people worked for her for that same amount of years. So it was like I couldn't. It was a blessing. I'm just gonna be honest. And then my best friend came from a high school on the other side of town where I actually lived, and my
Okay.
mom would drive me to my high school when she would go to work. She'd drive me, drop me off to my best friend's, bus over there in the afternoon, and so that's what began it. My
I
best friend
see.
was always my most. She was my model. She was my. That's who I experimented with.
Right. That's true. That's a good point. You're right. You're right. So let me ask you, um, what kind, is there like a basic hair care for all types of hair, be it natural or locked or perms or weave or, you know, what's the difference?
No, it's not. Everything has a difference
Okay.
because everything's being done differently when it
Right.
comes to so all hair is not the same. You have
Mm,
more coilier hair, you have hair that's like they'll say it's a 4cc, it's a 3c. They have all these letters and numbers with it, right? But in all reality, hair is just different because it coils differently, it shrinks. Some of it doesn't shrink, some of it's straighter, and you can have different textures all throughout. So
okay.
it's best, it's not one regimen for all hair. You have to be more prescriptive. You have to prescribe to every hair type. It's
I
not all
see.
the same.
I see. And so the last time I got my hair done by you, thank you very much. We were discussing about people who purchase the over the counter hair care, the perms and the dyes. And you were mentioning how it's really more harmful to the hair than they realize. Could you talk about that?
Well, I'm gonna be this is what got me more into the more natural care because I kept, even in school, relaxers always kind of bothered me. They were a thing. I was like, oh, we wear them, and it was a thing that they just gave us to put in our hair, right?
Right.
But when I really would look at the chemistry of it all and the way it broke down and the things it did, I always had a question in the back of my mind, like, what is it doing to the body? What is the
Right.
long-term effect of this product? That was
Yes.
always what went through my head because I would do relaxers on certain hair types because, like I said, all hair types are different. And we're coming from different regions of hair.
Yeah.
Our hair can be so different when we're from different regions. And some hair is more coarser, so it takes longer to break it down. So you would put the relaxer on it, it would disappear. And I would go, well, where did all that white stuff go? Where did it's clear, where did that go? It had
Mm,
to absorb into something.
okay.
So the relaxer thing, once this really came out, even now about the fibroids and the cancer, in my
Ooh,
mind, even before school, I always wondered, what is that doing to us? So it
yeah.
always clicked. I bet that's what all this is coming from. Alopecia, the cancer, the breast cancer. It all
Mm,
was making sense at that point.
yeah.
Relaxers have, when you buy them over the counter, first of all, you don't know how long they've sat there because everything has an expiration date. So
Mm,
I learned hair products in school because we have to learn chemistry. So it's like a
okay.
gallon of milk. You can't keep a gallon of milk for months. It's gonna go bad, right?
Mm, right.
Well, hair products do the same thing. So we go and we give all this money to these people that don't look like us. I can say
Okay.
that, but we go give it to them, and we don't realize they got relaxers stacked up to the ceiling and colors stacked up to the ceiling. And if it gets so hot in there, not only
Mm,
does the relaxer activate, but the color does too.
wow.
So when you
And
don't know how long something has sat in a warehouse before it got to where it is, and then how long it's sitting on the counter, it's just like your food at the grocery store. It's no different. You don't know
right.
how long that stuff sat wherever it sat before it got to the grocery store.
Mm.
So the same thing goes with hair products, and they have ingredients in them that can be very harmful to you if they're over activated, or any of that. Color has something in it called aniline derivative.
Okay.
And a lot of people would think, oh, I've got my hair colored forever. I'm just going to go to the store and buy this and put it in my hair. Have a whole complete reaction, allergic reaction, sometimes even
Wow.
to the point of cardiac arrest. There have been people
Whoa.
that have literally transitioned in salons because stylists weren't being careful enough in doing patch tests on people, especially as they get older, because then the heart is different. So now you got to
Right.
start treating it different. So you should really do patch tests before colors, because you need to make sure that person's not allergic to anything.
Right.
And so that's where the danger comes in, and all this doing at home stuff, applying the wigs, the color, these things are for professional use only, and it's for a reason. I say it's no different than going to the doctor. You can't go to the doctor and say, hey, I went on YouTube and I seen how they do pap smears. And I ordered my pap smear material from Amazon. And so I just came in here to wonder, can I use your table today? That
Wow.
doctor gonna look at you like, really? So as a hairstyle, as a licensed master cosmetologist,
Yeah.
it eats me up when I hear people say it, or people come to me and they're like, yeah, I did hair before. Oh, you did? Okay. Well, doing hair and knowing it is two different things.
Ooh,
I
that part.
know, but that's the
Yes.
difference.
Woo, period. Okay.
Too.
So how should the average person, how can they learn about their hair? Do they need to just go and seek a professional?
Consultations. Yes. Always do a
Oh,
consultation. You have to do it with your health. You have to do it when you learn how to
yes.
eat. Everything. Coach Stephanie, even when in business, we have to come to you. It's a consultation. So yeah, you need to go get consulted on your hair before getting it braided, before getting it weaves, before getting any of that stuff done. Because sometimes, and us not knowing what they're putting in these things now, is
Right.
affecting people on a mass level. Their skin's breaking out. They're getting all these allergy buildups from this stuff, and it's not safe. So yeah, please consult a
Yeah.
professional licensed. Just because they say they do hair don't mean they licensed and looked in no book and went through no schooling. So I went to school from 10th grade all the way to 12th grade, and still went to school after that, and still take classes, and still involve
Right.
myself in furthering my education. So this hair thing is an ever-changing thing. It's not something you could just go to school for and say, hey, I got this. No, you have to love it, because you got to love people. You don't
Mm,
love people, don't do hair. Don't do hair because you think it's the biggest money to go make, and you seeing people. No, do it because you love people. I could do this for free if I didn't have bills or to have to take care of
mm.
myself. So that's the
Yeah.
love I have.
And that's true. I mean, I definitely can testify. I know you are so sincere when you take care of my hair. I mean, you train me with different knowledge. The knowledge that I'm just have learned since you've been taking care of my hair is just phenomenal, because my hair is just so healthy, and people actually stop me and they want to know if my hair is my hair, because so many people are wearing weaves and what is it, faux locks or whatever it is. No, this is real, right? You can testify. This
Yeah,
is real. Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me, what's going on when people put the glue to the scalp? I mean, it just freaks me out when I see that. I'm like, is that really going on? Because I know you're not supposed to close the pores and then add glue. What's going on, or do you know?
Oh, dude, well, boy, do I know? Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. This wig phenomenon
Okay.
really was only made for theater. If you go back into the history of wigs, even though they did them in ancient times, because we would take our ancestors' hair when they would transcend, and we would lay it out in the sun, we would clean it with lemon, and then we would attach it to create us a headpiece that
Mm,
honored them. So it wasn't just coming off of just from somewhere that you have no idea where the source is.
right.
So yes, we've always done this, but it was mainly just for TV. when it really came out as the lace front and making it look a certain way. If you go back, you can look at the Kung Fu movies. All of those are lace front wigs. That's why they're so perfect around the face.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the history. You gotta know how to go back into the history of things to know where it came from. So when it became a thing that, okay, now we're gonna start offering to alopecia people with
Mhm.
alopecia that suffer from that, and cancer patients. So they don't. So if they have their hair comes out, they can wear a hairpiece. They can wear a lace front. So it became
Yes.
more popular through that. Now it's just a trend where everybody thinks, let me go put it on my head. Not understanding. I learned how to do lace fronts when they first came out. I had to pay $500 for a whole class.
Wow.
You have to shave your hairline off first and foremost. I said, oh, that took me through a loop when I said, I don't know how I feel about this. I was a little upset I hadn't even paid for that. I was like, shave your hairline off. I was like, oh, this is not going to work for me. I don't know how I'm going to get past this with these clients, you know. So this after that, you know, I noticed that it skyrocketed. Now they're selling it in the beauty supply. And as I say, the beauty supply, excuse me, I don't want my screen to go
Okay.
dark. The beauty supply, you could just walk in there and tell them you're looking for something, and tomorrow they're going to order it and bring it in there. So the
Mm.
hairstylists, licensed people, are responsible for all this
Wow.
excessiveness of these beauty supplies because we didn't keep it professional. We started doing stuff. We started doing stuff ourselves. So now it's like, oh, now everybody can do it themselves. Let's put it in the beauty supplies. So
Mm-hmm.
now this glue that they're putting on their hair and these you know, all this stuff that they're doing, it has chemicals in it, formaldehyde. That's the same thing they use in embalming fluid.
Right.
You know, that's what they use it to embalm bodies with. So why are we using stuff that has that in it and nobody's checking it? We're just saying, hey, it's a craze. Let's do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's do
Yeah.
this. I want to put this wig on. I want to look like this because we're really trying to look like someone we're not. I still agree with that. I still
Woo.
agree with that. Even as a hairstylist, I agree with it because I work with so many women that have beautiful hair and they always want to put some more hair on their head. And I be going, but I got your hair down here, your hair way down here up under all of this sewed up
Wow.
stuff. And you not even proud of it. So
Wow.
it became a mind thing at first. Now the health is at risk because these
Right.
glues are taking the skin, they're taking the hair completely. Where now these women, their hair back here. And I've worked with celebrities where I have
Right.
looked and I'm going, this is ridiculous. I'm going, I can't believe y'all are this desperate to want to look like something you're not.
Yeah.
You're beautiful in just the way you are. Your hair is beautiful, but you got to put on for these people.
Mm.
So
Yes.
it's an identity crisis, first and foremost. No
Yes.
matter how you look at it, it's an identity crisis. And it's about to
Mm.
be a health crisis.
Woo. You are so right. And overall the self-esteem, it lets you see the lack thereof because we need to feel good about who we are with our hair naturally, hopefully, because hey, I mean, it's coming naturally from us and it's so healthy when it's natural. And like you taught me about how, you know, how essential it is, it's in alignment with what you eat, you know, and just how you live because the hair can get thin real quick and snap on you, you know. So, yeah, just what do you have to say about what we eat and how it affects our hair? Because,
Ooh,
you know, you
man.
mentioned all these concoctions that you can purchase, but it's really about what we eat.
Man, what we eat plays a major role in our hair because our hair is, for one, like a plant. It's no different than a
Mhm.
plant. It's no different than the food that grows outside. I mean, it's our antennas. And not even realizing whatever we ingest in our bodies, the first place it goes to is our hair. The first
Right.
place. It doesn't matter if it's medicine, the first place it goes to the hair follicle, it goes straight there. Because that's the most biggest open. This up here is just like your skin. It's all open pores. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's the biggest organ on your body. So with that being said, we're putting things in our body that first, the hair is going to always tell the difference. You're going to see it in the hair before you see it anywhere else. They'll be like, yeah, you can see it in the teeth, you can see it in the eyes, you can see it in the hair first.
Mm.
So yes, it's very important on what we eat and what we put in our bodies. That's going to
Mm.
affect the hair, because as we get older, the hair tends to thin. Well, that's because based on what you've been putting in it and how you've been treating it, it's showing through your hair. So when men start losing their hair and they're really going thin and balding, it's because of how you've treated yourself.
Right,
It
right.
can't be that. Yeah.
Now you create wigs for alopecia clients. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Wow. So what does that entail? How challenging is that?
First, it can be challenging depending on what I'm making, because I can make one from a sewing machine with just a closure, or if I go
Okay.
full scale and do a full lace, that can take me at least 3 weeks to do, because
Wow.
that's a strand by strand technique that's coming through the thing. I
Wow.
can also kind of show you a model of it to give you an idea of what that process could look like. So this
Wow.
is a practice module of doing a lace, creating your own lace closure, right? So these are
Okay.
strand by strands. You're going in each little strand through each of these little holes and filling it with hair until it fills all the way out.
Wow. I would never have thought that. And so what's the longevity if they treat the wig correctly? How long can it last?
If they treat the wig correctly, forever. They
So
can really,
okay.
if they do it correctly, they can. It can. I mean, the hair is going to eventually die off. I say in at least 7 years, you might not. It might
Oh,
not be the best, but for
that's
the most part, you'll have it for a good amount of time, because as long as you shampoo it, condition it, you're treating it no different as long as it is human hair.
mm, okay. Wow. Okay. So is it possible the people with alopecia that it can be reversed and they start growing hair? Is that possible?
I believe with the technology that I'm watching being transformed, I believe so. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
There's certain things I'm watching when it comes to the infrared and the things like that, because infrared is a thing. We used to do what we would call high frequency treatment. That
Okay.
was back in the 80s and 90s. And it was this thing, and it looked like a rod and it looked like a fork, and it came out like this. And you turn it on, and all this electricity shot out through it. It goes, and you go across the scalp, and you get the follicle, you get the movement and the blood flowing. So it was
I
that's what it was, a high frequency treatment.
I
So
see.
now that they have the infrared is even better, because it can literally go in and create that follicle to want to come out. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure
Wow.
how they're going to do it, but I just feel it coming. So it makes me excited for my clients with alopecia that have been dealing with it. And I just feel it's just going to make a big mark for them. I'm just really excited about that.
I am too. That's really great news. So, how does someone have a consultation with you regarding their alopecia, for example? They tell you what kind of hair they would want you to create, the style and the texture. Is that how it works? Or
Yeah,
you just,
so we go through a consultation. I sit down with them. I always want people to pick out at least 3 solid pictures that they really like. So even
okay.
if it takes blending all of that together to get what they really are wanting, you know what I'm saying? Or one that they're just, but I like 3 of them, so we can be solidly all right on it, right? So we go through that process. We choose a style, the cut. We make sure it matches their face, their head shape, because we have to find out how many bundles of hair we'll need, what we're gonna actually need
Right,
for it. So
right.
each one is different, because some women are only gone here, so they'll
Okay.
have this but not this.
I
So it's
see.
more making a topper for them or something, not a full wig. Now some are
I
just done, and maybe they only have, or they have nothing around the hairline, so they
I see.
need more to come here.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
so it
mm.
just
Amazing. Wow. So, is the trend now for people, I'm noticing that more people are natural. They have their natural hair. And is that a trend, or do you see a change? What's your view on that?
I don't think it's a trend. I think we're going back to who we really are. I think we're starting to love ourselves again. We're starting to really understand what love is. What did Frankie Beverly say when he says he loves himself in that song?
Yes, yes.
I've had to whatever he says in that song. It's just we're learning to do that again. So I feel like nah, it's not a trend. I feel like it's a whole movement happening. It's a love movement where we're getting back to who we are and we're embracing it and we're loving it and we're unapologetic about it. And to me,
Mm.
that's what being who we are is really about.
Yes, you are so right. So, for someone who's had perms or weave or wigs all of their life and are trying to overcome the subliminal self-esteem issues with uh, showing their natural hair, how challenging or effortless is it to take care of natural hair?
You know what? I'm gonna say it like this. I have an ex that used to tell me, if you take care of your car, it'll take care of you. If you take care of your hair, it will take care of you. I mean, natural hair is really not a fuss. A lot of times people, because they're not used to seeing their hair do this, they ain't used to the curl pattern, they're not used to nothing that their hair does naturally. So it's a shell shock at first. But it is. It's like, wait a minute, what? I don't think I like it. Because I just had that issue. I just had that incident the other day. So I have a client that's been my client for, I'm gonna say 20 years. She's probably been my client for 20 years off and on. So she's always worn any type of wig. And when I tell you this client spends money, I mean she'll drop 1,200 on a wig with me. She's like, hey, I want this one. She's paid for me to go take classes on stuff just so I can do her hair. But she's like, nah, they ain't about to do my hair. And then
I
we
love
just
it.
cut all her hair off the other day.
Wow.
And she was like, LaTay, she went home. Her husband said, LaTay's moving in or something. Did you hire her part full time? I mean, she must be coming over every day because you don't know how to do your hair. I like it so much, but you
Oh,
don't know how to do your. He's panicking. They both panicking. Well, he got
oh,
her panicking. So she's up at 5 in the morning. I got a meeting. And she's a soror. So she's like, I got a meeting. I can't go to meeting like this and say, I don't know, I think I made a mistake. It's funny. So I
oh,
go, you didn't make a mistake? No, it's good. We
yeah.
got this. So we on FaceTime and I'm doing it. She does it, leaves, go to the meeting. She says, everybody love my hair. I said,
See?
see, I told you. I told you. So I just think it's you getting used to seeing yourself in this light.
Yeah.
And she's in her 60s, and her husband said, you look like you in your 40s. I said,
Oh,
oh, wait, did you say you look younger? She said,
oh, that's true though. I agree. The natural hair does look better because it's natural. And for people who feel that they don't look good because of their natural hair, need some serious therapy. That's all I have to say because
they do.
the natural hair is just beautiful. I mean,
It is.
the creator doesn't make any mistakes. I'll just leave it at that. Man, wow. So I really enjoyed this. Is there anything you would like to leave the listeners or viewers?
Yes, you know what? Y'all can follow me on all social media platforms. I'm LaTay on Facebook. You can follow that page. That's my business page. I'm LaTay J Bey on Instagram or LaTay J Bey DC Hair on Instagram. Because I'm a dream catcher and extension specialist.
Wow.
So that's what that page is all about. You can reach me on my website if you want to. If you want a consultation, my phone number is listed. You can Google me. You can Google me at any time. Google LaTay J Bey. That's all you gotta do is Google.
Yeah.
Google gonna pull me up. I've been on Google for a very long time, so that's where you
Yeah.
can reach me. That's where you can find me. I got lock ties. I have hair products that I make. Beautiful
Wow.
hair products, beautiful lock ties where you just don't feel like doing your hair. And you just want to pin it up without a rubber band. That's what
Yes.
these things do.
Wow.
Lock,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I call them lock ties because they're really for us because we don't like tight stuff
Right,
in our
right.
hair.
I don't. I definitely
So
don't. I
yes,
love my
yes,
scarves. Yeah.
yes, I promise you. So that's where y'all can find me. This has been a joy to do this interview with you. I loved it.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love you too. As always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing my hair, taking care of my hair. I appreciate you. And definitely are going to have you coming back in a few months so you can share your updates with all the different things you have going on because I mean, you're always have something going on and I appreciate you.
I appreciate love you more, Coach Stephanie, my business coach. Thank you for staying on my butt too. I
Yes, yes,
appreciate you.
definitely. We got to make it happen. I mean, there's room at the top for everyone. So I
For
love it.
everyone. All
All right.
right.
Well, thank you so
Peace and
much.
love. All
Peace and
right.
love. Yes. All right, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that conversation. I'm always learning something new about my hair and just hair care, learning through LaTay J Bey. And that is spelled, and she is spelled LaTayJbey. So I want to make sure that you know how to find her on her website. Again, that's LaTayJbey. LaTayJbey.com. Hair Nation com. Make sure you check out her website and see all of the different celebrities that she's worked with. And she is full of knowledge, and she is definitely someone you should go to consult for your hair care. So, again, this is amazing. I love what I do, bringing trailblazers. I mean, she's a master hairstylist. If you're going to have someone on your show, you have to have the masters, the hairstylists, the celebrity hairstylist. I love it. So thank you all for being a part of Beyond Boardroom Business with your host, Coach Stephanie. And I'm always here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you come with your friends and your family. And there's always someone interesting, a trailblazer, business owner. There's someone here that you definitely need to learn about and possibly network with. So until the next time, stay prayerful, stay patient, and stay prosperous. Hope you all have an amazing rest